welcome to the Friendly Geordies podcast.
Welcome.
Can I preemptively say, if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you have something, you can be constructive, and you don't have to be like platitudes, no platitudes, or you don't have to, be real, right? Be real, be honest. But if you are real and honest, and you seem as if when you're writing your comment, and read it before you post it, and if on YouTube you seem as
Unhinged?
if you are sort of like smug, self-important, in like nasty, patronizing, or arrogant, maybe rethink the wording. And free country, do what you want. But if you do post it, you might get a swift response from one of us being like, because there's some, I don't care. It's not like personal. It's just like sometimes when someone comes off as being very indignant and being like, oh, I'm very clever and they're really dumb because this isn't. It's like, you need to be more self-aware. It's dumb to write something anonymously to someone you don't know. You can have an opinion, obviously, but just think about the wording. That's all I'm saying. It's weird to get angry as if you're having a face-to-face argument with someone you've never met anonymously on a ghost forum. It's like let's not embarrass both of us. Like we're both like we're both
talking about it. I don't even know.
What do you mean?
So you're telling everybody don't be rude.
Pretty much.
Don't be rude.
Reconsider.
Okay. That's not going to happen. Thank you for your concerned response. The letter from the editor, rather than to. But if you've seen anything over the last 150 years of publishing in this country, letters to the editor are usually quite poignant and pointed. And
Okay.
don't think that in that 150 years, not one editor has ever not thought, you know what, maybe I'm just going to tell everybody. Can you stop being so abusive to me? Is that possible? I doubt it's ever worked. It'd be amazing if just in, man tells internet, do you have to be so smug?
Internet complies.
Internet replies, sorry.
Internet replies, sorry. Trump does a media report. He seemed like a really nice guy, this guy. Really lovely. And I thought, we could use some of this. We need some peace and love. And that's why, he just revokes every law and just doubles down on Trump's. And he's like, the Green New Deal should have been greener. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Man solves world problems.
Nah, but how about...
You ready?
Yeah.
We have to do something, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sandy. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
For she's a jolly good
you're taking up
don't hang
almost
up.
30 seconds on the podcast.
No, don't hang up. Don't hang up. Don't hang up.
Why?
Get
See
on.
ya. No. Coward.
No, fuck, Jesus Christ.
She left. 1 sec.
She left because you called her a coward. That was Jordan's. Yeah, get her on. She'll love to be on put her on the thing.
She's too scared to answer.
Are you actually on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're on it now.
You're on it now.
You're our third guest.
Put it in the mic.
You're our third. Ali's not here, so you're
bottom.
now the Pakistani man of the podcast.
Put the bottom in the mic.
I'm the Pakistani man of the podcast.
Yeah, now, don't use the R word as much as we usually use it between each other, because it's probably not a good idea.
God.
R is for radical. Happy birthday.
It out tonight.
Sorry?
No, look, you really are just filling out a blank content spot for us, so we really appreciate it.
No, we're not.
Before that, you know what the content was before this, Sandy? It was Miss Love, before you rang up, telling the internet not to be rude. Seriously. Sincerely saying, can you not be so smug? You know what I'm absolutely guaranteed about with that? that the internet's response to that won't be smart.
Oh my God, Miss Love.
Sandy.
What did you do for your birthday? Did you get your nails did you?
I got a pedi.
Oh, that's nice, Sandy.
I got a pedi.
Foot.
Pedicure. Yeah.
And I had a very nice day, thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, look,
Can we please...
Sandy
can we
is
please
probably
talk
the
about-
only person in the Friendly Geordies ecosystem, for those who don't know, that probably doesn't have some mental abnormality.
what about me?
You are not out of that category, my friend. You can't, like, you were listening to a Soundwave thing called 1993, and then you went, it's 1993, is it? My God, the time flies.
What are you talking about? What are
You
you
have no
talking?
concept of time. None. You have the same sensory perception of the world as a blue-tongued lizard.
Sandy, he's very rude, like the people on the internet.
Do I really want to be spending my birthday talking to you two? That's the question.
Yeah, and I can answer that no.
I don't know. You're also talking to a bunch of very angry loners.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, Sandy, is it today?
I actually wanted to talk to you, Jordan, about marketing your show. So can you please do that on your podcast as well? Thank you.
We'll just do it now.
No, don't do
Do it now.
Do you want to do it now,
the best
live?
30-second ad you can of the show.
Do you want to do it now?
My
Yeah,
booking
do it.
manager, everybody.
Come along and listen to Jordan talk to you for 2 hours instead of us for a change about aliens,
Yeah.
and pay him for that service because we're sick of hearing about it.
Oh,
Don't worry,
I
Sandy.
mean, she's not wrong.
He stopped a while ago, so it's okay.
Yeah, as Miss Love pointed out, my new obsession is Jerry Springer.
Oh, no, it is. No, it is. We had a big conversation about Jerry Springer last night.
Yeah.
So that is Jordan's latest hyperfixation, yes. Which is
Hey,
Jerry Springer.
you know what? Fucking you. Me and Sandy calling it smartest people in Friendly Geordies, at least emotionally.
Oh, well, that goes without saying.
Emotional
You're the only ones that have emotional intelligence. It's not a high bar. But,
Because she nailed it.
no, she's absolutely right. She gets it.
Yeah.
Sandy, did you have a good day?
I had a lovely day, thank you. I had the best day ever. It was so good.
Sandy, are
Did
you?
chuck a sickie or no?
No, I was at work with all of my work friends, and it was lovely.
Because you got that damn teacher's lounge, so they're going to give you a cake and shit, aren't they?
Why is it
Yeah,
damn? Why
always.
is
And
it a
don't forget,
damn
it's
teacher's
a
lounge?
carrot cake. Always a carrot cake.
No, I got to say what I wanted. So
What? Really?
Yeah, so my friend went and baked it last night and brought it in today. It was lovely.
What was it?
It was a Biscoff cake. It was lovely.
Why is everyone so
I
obsessed
know.
with Biscoff all of a sudden?
I agree.
It was actually nice. It
Nah,
was really
Sandy, I'm with Jordan on this one. Fucking Biscoff. What is this? Everyone loves it.
Please don't come at me about Biscoff because neither of you remembered my birthday today.
I did. I messaged you hours ago.
How am I supposed to remember it? I don't have access to my own
My
Facebook.
post on Instagram.
No.
Yeah, but Sandy, I
no,
can't
no,
look at
no,
any
no. That's
social
not
media,
true.
so I'm at a marked disadvantage with this. I'm lucky that I remember my wife's birthday.
Sandy, it's against my race and religion to message before 5. It's a Croatian thing.
It's true. Look, the fact that Miss Love remembered is you should be very grateful for that.
I'm very grateful.
Much more grateful than a Biscoff cake.
She's my-
Jeez.
Look, that is the Biscoff is very nice, but I am
It's lovely.
no, that is
Sandy,
nice.
come on. Rein in the birthday with a 21-piece feed at KFC.
What?
Oh, no. I just had a really nice veggie burger for dinner.
Yeah, this is the other thing everybody needs to know about Sandy.
Yum.
She has the same palate as a 5-year-old.
I
So-
do.
Look who's
She does.
talking.
No, I have the same palate as an 80-year-old man.
Right.
Everything has to be charcoal to me. But Sandy
Everywhere we go.
pretty much just
Everywhere
says
we go.
this anywhere she goes. Is there fried rice here? And then they say no, and then she'll sit there pouting and say okay, and then I'll say you're going to order something. And no, I'm not. And then she'll
Good.
just go to bed hungry in protest.
Yeah,
at
respect.
the restaurant, daring not to have the plainest meal the Chinese make.
Respect to that.
And don't forget how I always order 2 different versions of something for lunch just in case that I don't like one.
Oh,
Isn't that it's
I'm
the
a-
most spoilt thing I've
I'm a
ever heard in
big
my life?
fan of that.
I know.
No, you should not be. It's so infuriating.
No, that's great.
It's very infuriating because I'm so fussy that there's always something that I get that I hate.
Right.
Like, oh, thank God, I've got something else.
Sandy, some of the saddest days of my life have been misordering and then munching down something I didn't want.
It's Miss Love, you and I are the same person. I swear to God.
Here we are. That's
We
why.
are the same people.
But that's why you're wifey.
Yeah, that's why you are my hubby.
Yeah, I'm her hubby. She's my wifey.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
not where the bottom.
It is. It's at the top.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it?
Now,
Okay.
Jordan,
What?
I'm going because I have things to do. But can you please talk about the rise in patriotism in Canada right now, because it's making me very emotional.
What?
Yeah, I can talk about that.
Oh, because
What? Because Trudeau
what
quit.
the fuck? That is. Stop watching the news.
Watching the ice hockey, it's been amazing. So, look, talk about that, because Trump is bringing the Canadians together, and I'm here for it. And
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's so sad. Just when Trudeau quits, all of a sudden his opinion polls go through the roof.
No, yeah.
Brutal.
No,
All right.
he's been doing some very good speeches.
Oh,
Okay,
Sandy. No, don't go yet. Sandy, I'm sorry. I'm not saying politically, but personality-wise and shit, that guy's a ponce. He's so annoying the way he's with his little list. We will be taxing orange juice, tea, green tea.
I don't need like
Orange
analysis
juice.
of like him. I just want to talk about like the basically with the threat of becoming the 51st state of America, how that
He held his
Canadians
own.
have been pulling together.
No,
it's
it's-
just been a beautiful thing to see.
I agree, but can you just, before you go, can you give me this? He's a ponce.
I've got no opinion on Justin Trudeau. But I have a very strong like emotional pull toward the Canadians at the moment.
Let me repeat my impression. You must not have heard it. We'll be
Oh, no, I haven't
putting
heard.
no, I don't think you did.
No, Sandy.
Will we be
let the
putting
man finish.
taxes on orange juice, beans, Mexican beans, tacos, oil, wind,
Well, I
earth?
think it's a big thing that's happening. So enjoy talking about that.
No, you're a sweetie. I agree
Happy
with
birthday.
you. Oh, hey, Sandy, happy birthday.
Everybody in the podcast universe.
Bye.
You're the best.
Bye.
We love you. And there
Oh,
you
she's
have
a
it.
mole.
Oh, Jesus. That was cool, man. That was really cool. That was nice. Now, our topics today are Johnny Geos.
No, it's not Johnny Geo's. No, you had something else that you were going to talk about. No, not Johnny Geo's, please.
What's
Just when we thought we couldn't get any more complaints for Miss Love and Jordan episodes.
Okay,
This is what
fine.
it's going to be, an
All right,
hour-long
fine.
dissertation about how you feel wronged this time.
Yes.
Because there's free pizza
Yes.
and you're here.
Yes. Should we just sum it up?
Go on. You got 2 minutes.
Okay. No, it's been done. There was a soft opening of Johnny G's tonight down the road from my house. I put it in my calendar. It's in my calendar. Got some messages from 2 friends going div, da, div, da, div, da, div, da, like selfie. They've been like, it's as much free pizza as you want, Johnny G's. And I honestly like would rather at this point like if someone was like, I'll break your arm, but then they're redoing it tomorrow. I'd be like, just break it. The end.
Thank you very much.
The
Okay, that
end.
was segment number 2.
No, that was a one.
And then you've got another one that is just as inconsequential, don't you?
Posca Hydrate.
Posca Hydrate. Okay.
I think you
All right,
need to
now
tell
we
the
need
story.
to do an upgrade
and
of
then,
this
and
because
then
this
you know
is-
what? And then you can talk about your fucking substantive topics, quote unquote. All right?
All right.
Is that okay? You happy?
No.
I thought you were sick of politics, and
I'm sick of politics, but I'm also more sick of Posca. I think we can all agree that there might be a little more important things happening at a federal level on governing the future of one of the richest nations on earth during an election season. That there might be
I disagree.
on Merrick Watts's very lackluster law.
Hey, I love Posca Hydrate. I will not hear a bad word against its name.
This is how much he loves it. I'm talking to him because I have very serious business affairs that I need to get done. I needed Miss Love to pick up an 8-year-old rabbit.
God, man, we are jokes of humans.
Jokes. And the only bigger joke than that is the fact that he said, can't Why? Because I've got band rehearsal. What, for 12 hours? No, 16 hours.
Recording.
I'm recording.
Yeah.
Oh, during a weekday, mind you.
Yeah.
So no, I can't pick up your rabbit. So I really don't know who is more taking the piss out of the entire dynamic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's honestly very difficult. Very difficult choice.
Who's taking...
Such a joke organisation.
Such a joke.
Really. Like, of course. Who'd have guessed that a company called Joke Corp would be a joke?
It really says it all.
So as usual, I ring up for a conversation that should be about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you talk to Miss Love, you enter the time void. And 2 minutes very quickly turns into 2 hours.
Yep.
I don't know how he does it.
Neither do
He's
I.
the only one that is able to do it. I think I'm quite good at being the prompt. Hello? You got 30 seconds. I'm not wowed. See ya. But he's able to stretch out time because he is whoever that guy is in that Marvel film that was lackluster that no one likes except
Doctor
Time. Dr. Clock. What's up, Clock?
Dr.
Is that what it was called? Played by Bugs Bunny.
It
What's up, Clock?
It was Doctor Strange, but Dr. Clock
Dr.
is
Clock
so much better.
more apt.
So much better.
Yeah.
Doctor
Clock.
Strange, ooh, because he's strange. It's
No, he's not.
not that strange, dude.
The only thing that's strange about him is that he can travel through time. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Calling him,
go on.
we're
I
discussing...
can't believe you shut down Johnny Geo so hard. It's so good. Go on.
Because it's just... What's there to say? Johnny Geo's is open. Miss Love is mad that he didn't get free pizza.
That's all there is to say.
And I'm glad that we did that because there has been many a podcast between us where we have, I will freely admit this, wasted everyone's time, including our own, while Miss Love talks about petty small claims that he has against small businesses.
There's so many petty gripes I have with businesses not taking... I'm onto a new
Fairly
one.
profitable business.
I'm onto a new one, by the way.
What?
So no one's... I'll just quickly say this. No one's buying my guitar pedals because the economy's fucked.
Yes, that must be it.
Well, what else is it?
It could just be that not everyone is obsessed with guitar pedals.
There is a substantial guitar pedal enthusiast community buying and selling. Substantial.
Yeah?
Yes.
They just don't like yours.
No one's buying any. I talked to a shop about it and he said, it's just the times, mate. It's just the economy. No, it's just a seller's market, not a buyer's. I'm like, yeah, true. Anyway, long story short, I found a new shop where I'm going to rock up with a bunch of pedals. I was like, do you buy shit? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, sweet. And I assume they'll pay over new price. So there'll be an episode coming up where I complain about getting ripped off by a company again with my old wares coming soon. I'm sure they'll be like, yeah, $50 for 10. I'm like, what? You know?
It's always music related.
Yeah.
The only thing that evokes this man's passions ever
Anyway,
is
sorry.
small businesses selling very, very redundant products.
Oh my God. That's not true.
But
anyway, you called me.
I'm
We're
calling him,
chatting
he's driving
away.
down. He's saying, even though I said, can you go pick up the rabbit? And he goes, sorry, man, I'm 15 minutes away from that place. I really wish I could help you. That's what he said. Sorry, man. It's 15 minutes in the other direction.
It wasn't.
Can't help you.
It wasn't 15.
Can't help you.
It wasn't 15.
And he's driving down. I'm talking about my latest obsession, which I think my next stand-up show will just be itemizing each season of the Jerry Springer
I was
show
gonna
and
say,
ranking them.
I was going to say, it's not,
probably.
hopefully it's not rabbits. And this one, I think this one's neat. And this one's cute too. Like,
Yeah, well, you could go with either of them. I'm happy with either of those ideas. I've learned enough about aliens. That hyperfixation has ended.
Time to tour
Jerry
it for a
Springer's
year.
in.
Yeah.
Talking about Jerry Springer for about an hour.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to continue talking about Jerry Springer for an hour if you are so inclined.
Yeah.
But during that, Miss Love goes, At some point, he says, and I quote, "Oh my God, a BP." Like this is the rarest of the rare sightings. Rarer than a UFO to see a BP on the side of a highway. And then I hear the car make it. So he did like one of those action hero swerves into the off ramp.
Yeah.
So he can go to this BP. Mm-hmm. He walks up to the cash register and he says, while he's walking in there, hear the ding, and he said, you know what I'm getting? I said, no. And then he said, Poshka. Christ, not Costco. Just because Merrick Watts sells it.
That's not why.
Go on.
I am... It doesn't hurt that Merrick Watts owns it and sells it. It doesn't hurt, absolutely. But I am just an avid fan of his drink. I just think it's an amazing drink. It's yuzu. I just think it's amazing. It's delicious. It's, I assume it's pretty good for you.
He can't
I just think it's
talk
good.
about it as if he's doing a paid ad. This man isn't passionate about anything. Even the thing that he likes is music, is him endlessly complaining about music. The only thing that he has anything positive to say about is this questionable health drink.
Listen, I hope this gets clipped. Merrick, it's a great drink. I'm just a big fan. I like the vinegariness. There's a vinegary tinge to it. No drinks have yuzu flavor. That's an unknown. I don't see yuzu anywhere. That's delicious. I usually just get yuzu. It's not too sweet. And all this stuff in the back where it's like electrolytes and ginseng. It's
Hydrolyte.
like it all sounds great.
Yep.
There's no negatives.
None.
I mean, look. No, it's moderately priced. I mean, look, everything's going up these days. I'm not going to complain about it.
No.
So I'm a big fan, not just because of Merrick. I swear it's not just because of Merrick, but maybe it is a subconscious thing where it's just like, it's Merrick. Maybe, on a subconscious level.
Maybe. Maybe that might have something to do with it. But we'll never know, will we? It couldn't possibly be this man is 1 hour photo obsessed with Merrick to the point that he does sit there waking up in the morning to see him going, just walking out with my family. Oscar! Yeah! Why are my Instagram likes going up? Well, just every single one of them is just an ad. With me just lording it over the fact that I get up at 4:30 in the morning and everyone else is a loser. Why are my posts at a time when literally no one is up not going well? Posca. And then Miss Love will wake up at 4:30 just to write, looking good, Mary. Family's looking good too. This man maybe, possibly, this is still up for contention here, might be a little influenced by the fact that Merrick Watts likes Posca as well. Anyway.
When you put it that way, it sounds like definitely am, but I stand by it's not conclusive. But anyway.
Not conclusive.
No, my call.
All right. He buys one. He's walking into the BP, talking to me, because again, he's mentioned Posca, so he goes into, it has over 6 vital nutrients in it. It's true. Been around since the Roman times, proven to last longer in more ways than one. It's a traditional drink. Over and over. While I'm sitting there going, all right, I'm getting to Jerry Springer's statement. This is the first hyperfixation Miss Love has ever had.
Dude, I think you're right.
Yeah. And then he walks up to the cash register, and I swear to God this happened. He walks up to the cash register and says, "Excuse me, young man, I would like one of these delicious, and might I add, nutritious Posca Hydrate drinks. Did you know that they have over 6 vital minerals?" Talking about it, and says, and then says, he goes on a big spiel again. Like he's a door-to-door salesman, but he's not getting any commission or money for it. He's giving money to the product. Like a reverse pyramid scheme. Upside down pyramid scheme. And he's talking to him, and then he says, "I really recommend that you should try this Posca drink." And then I hear muffled end of the phone.
This is true.
This happened.
"Sir, you have already been in this store and asked me to drink this Posca drink. I've had this exact conversation with you before. Please just buy the Posca and leave."
And then he says, "I really think you should try it." Not noticing what just happened. Having no intent. This is the endlessly baffling point of knowing Mislav Belabragic, which is that every single moment of his life is an accidental written Kramer sketch happening in real time. Somehow, his entire life, I honestly still to this day think, does the Truman Show exist? And have I been wiped of my memory and I'm a paid actor in his life? Because everything in it is just too good to be true. It's all a written script. That happened. That sketch, while he's sitting there saying, there's no need to be snippy about it. Walking out, drinking the Posca, and then just goes, then goes,
Proceed to
man, that's good. And then I had to inform him of what happened. He's so unaware of the absurdity that is his life that was just another moment to drive by. I'm sorry. Were you just aware that an indescript Indian man was simultaneously scared and angry at you for advertising Posca to him? And coincidentally, you stopped at exactly the same BP with exactly the same Indian man to sell him that same spiel while he's telling you, please, John, just leave. I've heard it all before.
You said the same thing last time. Have you tried it? No, I haven't had the time. Well, you really should try it. That's what I said. I was like, I think you should try it. He's like,
I think you should try it. Hey, we frozen?
No, that's just the old. We're not frozen.
We're not frozen?
No. We're fine.
All right.
So
that happened. And then we're going... He's driving down further, and we did have this realization, and I think that this needs to be told with everyone. Don't you think one of the highlights of modern life is driving around at night and stopping at a service station?
I love it. They're like these little oasis
Solitary by
meccas.
yourself, sometimes talking to someone.
Yeah, they're like these little oases. What's that? Oh, sorry. I'm louder than you. Okay. Yeah. I'm louder than you. I'm like considerably louder than you, so
you should move it away.
Yeah.
Right. Test.
I just don't know which. Whatever. You're good though. Don't worry. My point was that it's like these.
Posca's delicious. Have you tried it yet?
I know you haven't. You've only tried it once because you're not a fan of Posca.
I'm a true fan.
I pull into BP specifically so I can get Posca, but it's weird. I've never. It's a cross section of I like Merrick Watts and I like the drink.
That's it.
Because I like juice and stuff, but you can't get juice at a BP. Like, what can you get? Oh, you can get juice.
Yeah, you can absolutely get juice.
All right, my theory's gone.
There we go.
All right, well, whatever. My point.
I'm sorry, you've just proven your entire thesis wrong.
I kind of have.
Entirely wrong. Not only are you wrong about the juice, that's a side point.
Yeah.
The main point of, I just don't think that I'm influenced at all by the fact that Merrick Watts owns and advertises this and constantly walks around normal life at weddings in a Posca shirt. I'm literally the only person liking these posts.
But my point...
It's
no
classic Homer thing. That advertisement had no impact on me whatsoever. While he's driving for the rest of his life. That's it, I'm getting a poster.
But my point was, like, I love servos. I agree with you. They're like these meccas. It's even better when it says the word foodery, which is a fucked word. Sorry, a beeped word. That should be wiped from the human lexicon. Foodery. But
not a fan.
But I do love the places that say foodery because they're usually kind of like, if you're hungry and these little meccas, and like, I wish to God our servos were like Japan, where it's like the best food in Australia is the food you get in a 7-Eleven in Japan. It's insane. But I'll take a place that's kind of like, it's a pie, but it's not all gristle. It's like, ooh, fancy, like it's nice stocking up on stuff. It's just nice, even though it's so overpriced and, it's like you're paying this ridiculous amount of money, but it's like, I don't know. It's like life's about the little pleasures, the little moments and
little
like
victories.
Just, yeah. And just,
it's a little victory. I don't know why it is.
It is because it's just a little, it's like, dude, we're hunters. It's the closest thing we have to hunting in the city.
Into a food
buying chicken twisties. It's pathetic.
It's really funny as well. The fact that I know that you are buying chicken twisties.
I mean, I'm not buying normal.
Yeah, but who's buying twisties anymore?
People are, man.
Oscar and chicken twisties.
You know what's...
What a scary
Okay,
combo.
I shouldn't say what I was going to say.
Go on. Sometimes I dunk the twisties.
No, it's worse.
What?
You ready for this?
Yeah.
I don't think you're ready. It's funny you mentioned that because I watched a podcast with Merrick on a wine podcast, and he did a pairing with a wine and chicken twisties and said they're a good pairing.
I'd pay you out for it, but I've heard him say that before, so
Oh, okay.
I can't.
That's not why I eat chicken twisties. I just think they're superior.
Sure.
Oh, come on.
No, come on.
No,
Don't
dude.
Come on, me.
No, I've been eating chicken twisties.
Merrick Watts, anything that Merrick Watts does, Miss Love will do, bar the exercise.
I'm such a
and
loser.
the waking up in the morning and doing multi-million-dollar business deals. But other than that, he's all into the consumption habits of Merrick.
I just think he's neat.
He is neat.
Look, I know
He's
that.
a great man.
I know that when he came on this pod, Jordan's upset and butthurt because he just paid him out at nauseum for 3 hours. But you know, that's his style. He did it to all of us. You know, I think you should just take it as a compliment.
Okay. That'll be easy to do with your childhood hero.
Oh, it's so unfair. I don't think he realized
How much
of
we
a fan.
idolize him.
I mean, I don't think he. I mean, I thought I was a fan, and then very quickly realized you're a much bigger fan. You are.
Way bigger.
So, like, you know, it was probably traumatizing for you. But I think that I think it had nothing to do with you. I think that he realized it was like, all right, there's no aircon in here. They fucked me around they fucked me around in the bloody, you know, we were late.
Yeah.
We were running late. We couldn't get onto him. He was like, these guys are stone slackers. And also he was like, I can't be a wild renegade like I was in the Triple J days. I can't do that anymore. I have to go on Sunrise and be like, yeah, Grant Daniels a great guy. Have you tried Posh? That's all he has to do. So he was like, man, we gave him, I talked to Ali about this. I feel like we gave him the artistic integrity and freedom to do
The event.
and just go nuts.
Go nuts.
So like, it was actually the nicest compliment he could give by paying us out.
No, I agree. Yeah, he's right. Now, should we talk about the Reserve Bank?
Yes, something substantive is,
I
yeah.
will.
And I will have...
As Miss Love has informed us, the biggest news about the RBA this week is it is actually called the RAB. And if you would like to hear us say that in between checking our phones for about half an hour while a very disgruntled member of the audience tells us that this is the worst podcast he's ever heard, to which our response was, between flicking through our phones, this isn't even the podcast, you kid. No, we make people pay money to hear that, thank you.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to sign up to the Up Late, you can do that. If you do sign up to the Up Late, on the Up Late I will be discussing something that might be the biggest news event.
Posca new flavour.
Second biggest. Second biggest news event.
Sorry,
It's never happened to me in my entire life. It's huge, and you could be on the inroad on this and have a big say in it as well. So if you're one of those weirdos that likes to LARP and move characters around in the game Dota or whatever, you can do that in auditory fashion.
Ready?
Sign up.
Ready?
I just saw the run sheet for today's podcast. First off, I didn't even know we had a run sheet. But the second thing is, there is one sentence left. The sentence before that was, this is the segment that Miss Love had for this podcast. And look, it's so weird that people say that as soon as Ali's gone, this podcast goes to shit.
I wonder if the people on YouTube will be happy with this podcast. The ones who I said to not be rude.
At the beginning, starting with that. That was the entree. Get ready for the main. Advertising a drink at BP for half the pod.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just goes, you ready for this? And then it says Posca Hydrate, and then he deletes. That's done. We have covered one of the bases.
Yeah.
So
Did you remember the remaining one? The remaining one?
RAB.
No.
What is it?
Hold on.
You're gonna have to highlight. It's too small from this distance. My lying friend.
Yeah. I just thought.
Finish with
Yeah,
that.
we can finish with that. Anyway, we should probably do. This is considered a political podcast for some reason. I guess for the reason that you are into your little politics. Change.
God, I wish I could end.
Yeah, it's like a self-flagellating thing.
It's horrible.
So you go hard.
I'll say this.
Yeah. While you do it, actually, because you're going to be yapping a bit of this for a while, I'm going to put your mic up and I can find out which one it is. Go on.
Well,
I'll be back in a sec.
okay. So, for those of you who are probably aware, the Reserve Bank did its first rate cut since 2020. First rate cut since 2020. First. Don't. I'm so glad you're away from the microphone. Oh my god.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Well, it doesn't matter. You've already demonetized this podcast.
Why?
But welcome to the F-bomb hour with Mr. Balabragic. How many times can he really trip up the sensory algorithm on YouTube?
I'm
8,
sorry.
7 times in
I'm
the first
sorry,
minute?
I'm
No, we're at a brand new record 12 times. How does he fit them all in? That's the true magic and skill.
That's why you love me. That's why you love me. Come on, people. That's why you love me. And I'm from the dirt. I'm from the dirt. Down in the ditches there. Real man. This is real. Goddamn. This is real.
Anyway, the Reserve Bank, which as we found out from Mislav Balabragic, that's not its real name. Its real name is the Royal Australian Bank. It's not the Reserve Bank of Australia, all right? And anybody that says the Reserve Bank of Australia, they don't know the real history of this.
They're not drinking their Posca Hydrate.
Not drinking their Posca. So anyway, first rate cut since 2020. So that's 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah.
Haven't dropped it. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden they do. Just before the election. Even though the Labor Party has maintained and jumped through all of these hoops that the Reserve Bank governor and the Reserve Bank board keep telling them over and over. Oh, yeah, inflation needs to stay between 2 and 3%. Yeah, during the cost of living crisis, it needs to do that, does it? Yeah. Okay, Jim Chalmers performs that miracle. Oh, you need to deliver a surplus. Performs that miracle. Keep in mind the Liberals never delivered a surplus. Not once. Not once did they deliver a surplus. Jim Chalmers does too. Does the absolute miracle of staying within the 2 to 3% inflation mark while inflation is still a problem throughout the rest of the world. They are right in the safe zone, have been since 2024. There should have been a rate drop by their own metrics probably 6 months ago. And the Labor Party had the great idea of making their 2 separate boards in the Reserve Bank to divvy up their mad drunk with power. But the reason, obviously, that they haven't been dropping rates, despite the fact that Jim Chalmers has been performing absolute miracles, I need to point this out. Mislav.
Yes.
Did you know this?
Yep. No. What?
Over and over again, you'll ever hear just over. You can't manage the economy if you can't manage money. This is the line that you hear over and over from the Liberals.
That seems logical to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Here's what they never tell you. In terms of budgetary management, the last time the Liberal Party was in budgetary management, they ranked 91st in the world.
When the Libs were in.
When the Libs were in. 91st.
That's
down there with African
That's bad.
countries.
It's bad. There's no way. There's no sugarcoating that. That is bad numbers.
Abysmal.
Bad numbers
for a developed nation. You really
Yes.
can't emphasise how bad the Liberal Party is with money. That is atrocious.
That's bad.
Jim Chalmers gets in, second in the world
Dang.
in 3 years. Second. Second.
You really can't
do
argue
we really
with
need
that.
to keep having this
Can't
argument?
argue with that. You really can't. You
God,
really
people are
can't.
stupid. I really can't. You just,
Not our
how do
fans,
you
we
get
love you.
Liberals to stop voting Liberal? They just move their dumb opinions over and over. It's like the Greens. It's because they don't care. It's just an identity thing to them. It's not about facts. It's not about figures. They just say, I care about migration because the Liberal Party tells them to care about migration. And then you say, okay, the Labor Party is the only one that has meaningful cuts to migration. No, they don't. What are we doing here? What are we doing? What is the point of even having a democracy? You're just going to take it.
I would say.
Oh, we need an independent.
No.
Why?
No, I'm not
Why?
saying that.
So they can get dumber results than the second best budget management in the world?
I think.
Yeah, I'm sure. These idiots that just regurgitate Australia Institute talking points, they're going to do better than Dr. Jim Chalmers. Not a doctor like Monique Ryan is. But I know a lot about the spine. What are you doing in Parliament? Get out.
I
Crazy
think
nest-head freak.
you can tell it's getting to him, the politics. He needs a holiday. I think that immigration is an issue across the board politically. I think Labor are I think they're better than the Libs. I think they're still not great with it. But I think politics is the best. It's about being pragmatic. You know, no party is perfect. and it seems that they are still the best. That's it. I don't think everything they do is amazing, but I still think they're head and shoulders above
Can we just acknowledge, I'm sorry,
the libs.
that second best budget management
Is head and shoulders
from
above.
91st
100%.
to second in 3 years
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yes, it is.
That is incredible.
I was talking about
no credit, none. Over and over in the press. Oh, they've been terrible with the economy.
Yeah.
I know. I expect it over and over. I hear it constantly. I will never not hear it. It's just I cannot express how much I hate the press and by extension the entire voting population. All of them. I hate every last one of you, even the
Jesus
Labor voters.
Christ.
You just because the other thing is that everyone that is a Labor voter is so apologetic all the time. Oh, you know.
Have you
Yeah, they are incredible.
Have you heard the expression get bees with honey or whatever?
Yeah. And I've realised, no, I'm choosing vinegar. Just dousing it in the fly's face. There you go. In your thousands of eyes. Bam, that must hurt even more.
He doesn't give a shit. He's just going to
I'm done with them all.
Let him
I
cook.
really do not care
Let
about
him cook.
winning over public sentiment anymore. What's
Okay.
the point? What's the point of these monkeys? They move the next day.
Oh, I saw a different TikTok. It doesn't have any foundation to it or research, but it was in front of me beforehand. That's how I'm going to vote now.
It sounds like you're... Look, I don't want to agree with you, but it sounds like you've only come to the realization of something I realized a long time ago.
Which is?
Which is that politics it's a noble, very important thing. Like, backbone of society. Definitely, undeniably, super honorable to be involved with, important, everything. It's also a shit fight.
Oh,
a
horrible.
Cyclical,
Yep.
like manipulative, negative,
Yes, it is.
like dirty dealing,
Horrible.
like life killer.
Life killer.
So it's like and sucker of life, and especially if you're a pundit, because you're like, you know all this. Everyone knows all this. You can have, there can be two people. This is the frustrating thing. There can be two people with opposing views. One has their facts, the other has their facts, and they're each not wrong. They're each correct. Facts can just be sort of bent to narrative, and they're not even incorrect. But then, when someone says something, they leave out certain parts of the puzzle, or they choose to ignore certain facts. They're not. It's like very shady. They're not wrong. So the style of arguing. I mean, the endless debates online. Like, it's a game. It's just a game of chess. And I can't play chess. I literally can't. I'm not very good at chess. So it's like, and Monopoly. These games get annoying. Monopoly gets annoying after 3 days of playing.
3 days.
And then you chuck it and
like
go,
30 years.
You chuck it and you...
30-year game of Monopoly.
That's what your life is.
And that's such a good interpretation of what politics is.
That's what I see it as,
this thing of, all right, it's obvious that we're going to lose, and it just keeps slowly but surely getting to this crushing, dark defeat, and that's politics in a nutshell.
And and it's honourable, and dude, whole power to you, buddy. And it's not that I'm even clocking out. It's just right now, I'm a little overstimulated by it all and disillusioned.
The electorate
Especially
is
if
just
Libs
horrible. I really do not have any...
At least you're being honest.
I'm truly. they really
But
are
this is
pigs and don't deserve the pearls that they get.
Not your fans. Not your fans are good. Say that.
Half of them.
Fuck.
Half of them are pigs.
Oh my god.
It's just my new podcast. The fans are stupid pigs.
Well, listen, I am not I love the fans because they're watching us. Looks the rude ones, not the biggest fan of, and let's be honest, half of the pod fans are mental as well. But God bless yous. But anyone that denies that that is what it is. Anyone that's just like, you're just jaded, or you're just you're just sort of playing into what people want. It's like, yeah, like maybe, but it is a fact that it is a game that has to be played, and it is it's like anything. It's cyclical. It's like life. It just goes on and on and on. And democracy definitely, I'm no expert, but democracy isn't the easiest form of government. Maybe it is the best. I don't know. But it's slow, it's inefficient, it's, I don't know if democracy is necessarily the best system to make leaps and bounds in progress time-wise. Like, it's taking like 100 years or whatever to build a railroad. Is that the best? It's not the fastest system statistically. So like, and someone like you, dude, what do you appreciate? Efficiency, multitasking, like progression, like advancement, speed. Yeah. Like, you'd inject your fucking burnt steaks if you could.
Yes,
Waste too much time chewing.
Yep.
Democracy and you are not going to be
compatible.
Well, I'm not going to say. I'm not saying.
I've also thought about that.
I'm not saying you're not compatible. I'm just saying, like, you're not going to be chums. You're not going to be best buds.
No.
And I kind of feel sorry. I empathize, because it's almost like you have this like woman that you love as a metaphor, and it's like she just keeps rejecting you. That's what your life is.
Yeah, that is my life. That's a very good metaphor. That's my metaphor.
I mean, even Labor just been like, we love you. Don't even think about entering the Labor headquarters, or we'll tase you. It's like, you're just getting constantly hit. And you obviously have fans and supporters of people that love you, but your aim is this thing, and it's like that thing is tumultuous and like, fucking you around and shape shifting, and it's like having 100 wives and none of them like you. Oh, one. I think you speak to one that likes you, and you got a few Labor, some mates that like, people in Labor that like you.
Oh, yeah, like at a grassroots level.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's tough. It's a tough thing. And, everyone has their battles. I mean, I'm still being like, my band's going to make it. And, 99.99% of the world's like, fuck you, you suck. So I get it. But, like, yours is a little more...
Sisyphean.
What do you mean?
Don't you think that this is politics in a nutshell? This is supporting the Labor Party in this country. 10 years of...
Yeah, it's that exact 100%.
Yep, it's almost over there.
100%.
Yep, okay, all right, they're in government. Yep,
Yeah.
Okay, they're getting voted out before any of the policies can actually be implemented or felt by the electorate, because they've been blocked by the Greens and Liberals for 2 years. All right, now we're back to square one. Yay! 10 more years of the Liberals.
Fuck. That's brutal. That was brutal. That's fucked. We're done. It's brutal.
Done, it's over.
I mean, I feel like that with the music. I feel like it's an absolute. But the thing is, at least you're in, like, I don't know. It's probably, you could argue it's harder to be in a successful band and get in a party elected. I don't know. They're all difficult. But like, yours is, politics is constant arguments. So what you're doing, we're doing a similar thing in some way, but you're having to deal. You're like this political pundit, and you're in the public. So you're having to constantly be like, make your case and do a freaking TED talk. I don't have to do that with my music. I can just be like, yeah, there it is, and promote it. But that's it. And you have to have someone to be like, yeah, but what about nuclear? And you're like, I've addressed it. And it's like, well, I haven't seen it. It's like, and then you'll address it and be like,
are you paid by the Labor Party?
It must get tiring.
It can't possibly be that I'm an idiot and haven't thought about this any further than a headline. No, it's that you're biased.
Having found out what...
You, this man that has spent 15 years of your life focused on this, I know more about it than you. I've seen a TikTok.
I'm trying to spin this in a positive way. I mean, this episode's just been like laughing, having fun, but also like it's just negative. Like, surely there's been support in the chat. If that makes you feel better. Does that make you feel better? There's support in the chat. But
the RBA thing is phenomenal. That is honestly astonishing, because the RBA, this is my gripe with the independents themselves. Just because somebody says they're independent, just like the Sydney Morning Herald says it's independent, just like the ABC says it's independent, I've got news for you. It's not independent.
Yeah.
It is not independent. The RBA is exactly the same. A bunch of Liberal fogies appointed by the Liberals in there, deliberately holding interest rates high so that people suffer under their mortgages. This is another little institutional trick.
Is that right?
Another little institutional trick that the Liberals do. I can guarantee you. Because first off, when the Liberals are in, they refuse to increase interest rates, which would have really offset a lot of the unnecessary hurt that you would have had to have felt if you had a mortgage.
Yeah.
They kept that low for as long as they possibly could while the Liberals were in. And then when Labor's in, they hold them as high as they can for as long as they can, despite the Labor Party meeting all of their criteria, which were impossible to meet. And they still met them, and they still kept them high. They've been finally forced because every other reserve bank in the world has said, these were dropped 6 months ago. What are you doing? You have to be the worst reserve bank in the world. Finally, they drop it just before the election. Thanks, guys. Would have been handy when it was supposed to be dropped 6 months ago.
So you're saying they're in cahoots with the Libs?
They are the Libs. This is
the
the whole thing
bank,
that people don't understand.
The bank?
Huh?
The bank, the
Reserve Bank?
Yeah.
Absolutely they are. Well, again, if the Labor Party was in for 10 years, they'd put a bunch of pro-Labor people on the board, but they put a bunch of pro-Liberal people on the board. So that they do these little favours and these little tricks. And it's just, it's amazing the amount of institutional and press bias that needs to be pumped into the Australian public to get the Liberals elected. Astonishing. So you've got the Reserve Bank doing that. Then you have the entire press sitting there saying this is all Labor's fault that the interest rates are high, despite the fact that it's this supposedly independent body that is not governed by the government. And anyway, they finally drop it just before the election. Angus Taylor, the shadow treasurer, who is just in all sorts of I am not one to just willy-nilly call corruption, but what else do you call it when this guy gets $80 million of taxpayer money to buy back water on a broken bullshit scheme of water buyback to begin with? $80 million and doesn't give back a litre of water. Not a drop, not one. So he just gets $80 million.
I don't get it.
It's because he's mates with Barnaby Joyce. Yeah, so they just put it into his holdings company.
But wait, break that down. He bought a bunch of land with water?
Well, the whole point is, look,
this is the shooters fishers issue.
The Labor Party, when they came in last time, realised they're not going to be in government forever, so they did what they always do, which is to try and turn it into some sort of market system so that once they're out of government, there's sort of an incentive to sell off environmental water and stuff, because they know that as soon as the Liberals are in, they're just going to rinse the river dry. Rinse it dry, which is what they did. And they also kept the water holdings market in place, but then they just rigged it and started just, Angus, I'll put in $80 million of water at this extremely inflated price. And then Barnaby goes, there you go, there's your $80 million check as a part of the Australian public. There you go, Angus, thanks, thanks. Then it goes into his holding, doesn't release any water, not any water at all. Just gets $80 million off the taxpayer.
Are you serious?
Million.
Are you
all
serious?
All sorts of rorts with him and John Barilaro, where he is getting ungodly grants for nothing. It's also just a pure coincidence that Angus Taylor's energy minister, and they release... He's on the inside loop that they're going to bring back this gas-led recovery program. And what do you know? This large tract of land that Angus Taylor bought, geez, that's going to be where the gas pipeline's built. He's going to be Angus Taylor. What a genius investor he is. Lucky him. Lucky him.
He's a genius investor, isn't he?
Yeah, isn't he?
Is he still in government?
He's the shadow treasurer.
Oh, shit.
Absolute con man. The worst of the worst. And dumb as a post as well. So stupid.
I know who he is. I don't know what he looks like.
Doesn't he? It looks like a puppet version of that 80s show where they used to say, this is Bob Hawke. He looks like that. He's so dumb in the head. He's got that stupid mop 80s hair.
He's got he does have that mop hair.
Absolute bozo. This is how stupid he is. The Liberals have nothing
careful,
to say
you keep
about...
talking like that, you'll get another hit on you, brother. These are powerful people.
Angus Taylor's just scum. He's honestly probably... Him and Barnaby Joyce have to be the lowest of the low when it comes to them. Lowest of the low. I can always pay Dutton for his intelligence and his discipline. I can give him some positive trait. You can't give anything to Angus Taylor.
You got to pay Barnaby Joyce's passion at least.
Yeah, you're right. He's just such a... He's a pig monster.
What? He's
just got this face.
yeah.
No,
I mean,
look, I'll give it to him. He's funny and he is very intelligent. You can give things to him,
but he's obviously his policies are obviously like I would assume. Because the problem is, every time I hear some guy with a cowboy hat yell about stuff, I'm like, he's right. He's got to be right. But then, like, usually you look at the policies and it's like, that's a bad idea.
always,
Yeah.
always. He's a shocker. Anyone in the National Party is just horrible.
What's like the craziest thing Barnaby Joyce has... What would be the craziest thing he proposed or has proposed? Like, the craziest, like the most, like... nonsensical, most destructive, whatever.
Well, it's pretty hard to go over overspray crops.
Is that just being
horrendous.
like any chemicals are good?
Labor Party introduced a overseeing body to look at all of these chemicals and see which ones
Make you blind.
maybe possibly shouldn't be sold in Australia, where the only places they're legal are Mexico and Vietnam.
Jesus.
Maybe they should be taken off. And then he just guts it as soon as he's in. Go hard, boys. Yeah, you don't need directions. You don't even need to learn to read. Just spray it out. My hands burn off. My hands. Can't be because of the poison. It just happens sometimes, mate.
You're not one of...
Spontaneous hand combustion.
You're not one of these greenies saying our ozone layer is screwed. Is that what you reckon is the sun? I don't think so, champ.
Just a truly awful man. God, I hate him.
I mean, sometimes...
Thinking about the fact that these bozos could be...
Look, sometimes, truth be told, sometimes, because I like to question everything and everyone, I do look at you and I go, sometimes I'm like, I wonder if Jordan is like quite, when I say greeny, I mean like environmentally. I'm like, I wonder if he's too greeny. And then I'm not saying you are, but sometimes I'm like, I wonder. I just question it. I'm like, I wonder if Jordan's like take on the environment is like too extreme. But then I'm like, nah, I'm sure it's not.
Look, if anything, mine is a lot more temperate than really what the impending ecological collapse is happening, because I've tempered it with the fact that reality exists.
Sure, okay, cool.
You know?
No,
So,
I'm not
tree
doubting you. I'm
No,
not doubting you.
I'm telling you now, those tree huggers are right. They are right about all of these things.
Yeah.
They are not right, however, about how government works.
Yeah. No, fair. No, it's fair. It's just that, you know me, dude. I'm just like the constant... I'm not saying this as a compliment either. The constant centrist in a way where it's like... not just centrist. Like, I'm also like you in that I'm like, I push back. Like, if I hear something, I'm like... My automatic thing is like, I don't know. I'm just like all Australians, you know? So, like, when someone is kind of just like... You know... When someone's like, let's introduce nuclear, I'm like, I don't know. But then when someone's like, let's stop coral bleaching, I'm like, could leave a bit, you know? Not, I don't actually believe that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I'm like, well, it's all a balance. And sometimes the way that these nationals portray themselves, I'm like, I wonder how
That's
bad.
the way it's done.
No, I'm just like, yeah. But then I'm like, I know they're bad. I know they're bad in the environment. But I'm like, I wonder how bad.
Worse than you can imagine.
Yeah. Well,
Worse
that's
than
what I
you
have to.
can
That's what I have to remind myself. Because you go to North Queensland, you're like, this looks beautiful. What? Looks fine. But runoff.
Yeah,
is
but you're looking
see-through.
at National Park. You are not looking
Yeah,
at
true.
sugarcane farms.
Well, there's a lot of sugarcane in Mackay.
I think Mackay was clearly maybe just a bit ecologically off.
I don't know.
Maybe when your mall is called Sugarcane Mall, you might be a bit too pro sugarcane and a bit too unconcerned about its impacts. Maybe when
It's the dollar, dude.
Maybe
The
when-
dollar talks.
what?
Sugarcane built the town, therefore it's sugarcane more.
It's always the same thing.
Yeah.
Subsidies built the town. Government subsidies built the town, and the sugarcane was
Fair.
some stupid excuse to get it to those illiterate hicks.
Damn. I look at. Let's not isolate every single person. that likes something.
There's one thing that Mackay knows it is. It's dumb.
Yeah.
They know they're stupid. That's the only thing they know, because they're that stupid.
Look, I'll take your word for it with the subsidy thing. I mean, I'm sure that's true. I'm sure it is.
Yeah!
But then shouldn't it be called like
Sugarcane.
government mall or something.
That's what everything should be. This is my big plan one day, and maybe you can all help me with this, but one
Dude,
day...
my mum would actually have a stroke hearing you espouse your views. And I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just funny how some people can be so politically opposite. It's just crazy. Like she'd have a stroke. Just what you said then, everything should be named after the government. She'd have to go to a hospital. Sorry, what's your plan?
One day, and I think this would do a lot of good in Australia. God, I wish I just knew. This is the worst part about the Labor Party as well. There is not a single rich person in the country that supports them. Not one. They don't have billionaire backers.
Yeah,
they don't have it. And then you have all these dumb shit Greens being like, oh, both major parties. And then, like, they've got a bunch of gambling lords as their backers. But I wish the Labor Party had these extremely deep-pocketed billionaire eccentrics funding them. But God, it would make life easy. Because... my big game now is to one day make a think tank that, unlike the Australia Institute, isn't just a lying, devious pit of soy snakes. Like,
I don't know about them.
They're just the worst. The Australia Institute has to be more damaging than the IPA. More. No one takes the IPA seriously.
What's the
People
IPA? What
seriously
are these things?
Huh?
What's
the IPA? Is the Liberal Party's think tank. Well, it's just a corporate-funded think tank set up by Keith Murdoch. And it's just...
And the other one's a Labor one?
But no one takes it seriously. It's just a mad joke. But everyone sits there and endlessly... But the Australia Institute says... And the Australia Institute is rife with push polling allegations, completely filled by a board of former Greens, will not reveal its funding. That should be your first indication. It does all these simple dumb shit truths like, Norway taxes its resources. You should tax... They're the worst. But anyway, I want to make a good one. Yeah. I want to make a good one because their entire thing is just like, we just care about the facts. Here's us just cherry picking a bunch of facts. That's them. Mm-hmm. What I want to one day do is start up a think tank, and its only point is... Yes? Miss Love's mum is wrong. She is dead wrong. That's the entire point of it.
Okay, but
the entire point is the government is great.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
The entire point is to just point out to people, because you've just had 30 years of people just saying... both parties suck. Everything sucks. The government sucks. So corrupt. Mm-hmm. People believe this now. They think they're geniuses for thinking it. They don't know that they've been pushed into having these very skeptical views of government. They don't even understand it. And what do? You get Trump. That's what you get from that stuff. Just absolute rotting of the system.
Also, but may I say too, love you, Mum, and you can't overlook. She has many reasons for her views, and they are lived experiences, and they shouldn't be like overlooked or denied.
No, they shouldn't be. This is the whole thing. She grew up in a generation that was.
She grew up in a communist. She grew up in a communist hangover that she did not enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But then,
what happens?
I'm just saying. You move to Australia, and the answer doesn't become, because this is the whole thing. This is something that I've noticed. Indian migrants, Arabic migrants, because the government there is just this rot system that doesn't work properly and is a complete and utter cronyist, barely functioning behemoth.
Well, it's because developing
crap.
Yeah, developing.
Bunch of developing nations. The government's just horrendous, so they don't care. They don't have any civic duty imprinted into them. Yeah,
we're generalizing.
Yeah, obviously we're generalizing. You will see a lot of Indians that are very into civic government and stuff. But I'm saying
let's not generalize by race, maybe.
Yeah, no, by race.
No,
specifically Bangladeshis are the worst.
Sorry, this is a joke. Joke.
Yes, it's a joke.
Yes,
but then what you will notice with the Chinese, for instance, right?
Yeah.
The Chinese, everybody says, oh, they hate the CCP, so they're liberal voters. Not necessarily true.
Not
necessarily true.
Well, none of this is necessarily
They might
true.
be anti the CCP, but because of the CCP, they have been so politically educated. Like, you read Das Kapital in year 6 in China. They're so politically educated. First off, they have a concept of class in their head. And on top of that, yes, the elite vote liberal, but the average Chinese person understands the liberals are insane. They see the Labor Party as being a sensible government. Now, these are people that came from a quote-unquote communist country. But when it comes to Eastern Europeans...
It's a different thing.
It's a different
Yeah.
ball game.
Yeah.
And the Greeks have had it very embedded into their mind, and it goes back to Byzantine times, that a government is a good thing. But then you go to the outliers of the Byzantine Empire, like your Croatias, like your Serbias, like your Bulgarias. They are very susceptible to the idea that someone saying that schools should be public is bringing about Tito too.
Not Serbia. Serbia loves that stuff.
No, sorry, Serbia is not the right answer.
Yeah,
sorry,
Serbia-
I should have said what's the
Macedonia,
other S one? Slovenia?
Slovenia, Macedonia, Croatia.
No, I was thinking the other S one,
Bosnia.
Slovenia. Sorry.
Yeah. Because
No. Serbia's on point. They get it.
Serbia
good boys.
kisses the Russian ring.
Now who's saying racy things?
That's just a fact. They love Russia.
But what was I even talking about? What was I going on this big race?
You were saying, that like,
yeah, but you
difference
can see it in the cultural upbringing that you have.
Yeah.
Whether or not there is a general reverence for government.
sure,
And
I guess.
just because you grew up in a communist nation does not excuse the fact. It is not an immediate, all government's bad and should be burnt to the ground. It's a strange aspect of certain cultures.
I agree with you. Yeah, yes, lived experiences and upbringings obviously going to shape people the most. So it's like you can't fault them for that. But it is a weird thing thinking about how those demographics shape a country. You know, like, I mean, that thing of like, do we just I don't know. The West, I would imagine, generally speaking, to tend to import people that have been wronged by, well, you could say America, or you could say but through wars, but I don't know. A lot of them are like escaping tyrannical governments, let's say, or that kind of thing, and capital these like. You have to admit that, like, a lot of throughout history, these governments like that have claimed to be communism, whatever, have been a lot more destructive in terms of they I don't know, like famine, war, these kind of things. So like people tend to go to the West, and there's like that idealized idea of the West, and it's like that whole idea is kind of like, yeah, the government's good, but like don't give them too much power. They're like they got to keep them in line. They're like
I think that they're honestly further than that. I think a lot of them are just anti-government.
I mean,
depends. If you're from a third world shithole where the government is sort of a Pakistani government or something, you just you don't care about the government.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
you don't care about it. You see it as some sort of,
because it doesn't function
unless you're in on the con.
But it doesn't function. You can't blame them, right?
No, you can't blame. I'm saying that is the whole point, right? That
if it's inefficient, you don't trust it.
When it depends on your upbringing about your attitudes towards government, and my whole point is that probably one of the best things that could be done is to set up a think tank saying, did you know that the only reason that you are enjoying the quality of your life right now is because of the government? Did you know that? Have you ever stopped and thought for a second how much you rely on the government? Have you ever thought about the fact that the reason that we have electricity running at this point is because of a bunch of regulators making sure it ticks over without fail, day after day? Have you ever thought about the fact that when your tap turns on, that is because the government makes sure that your water is clean and is endlessly flowing and is measuring it constantly to see that it remains healthy? There is a bunch of things that the government does that you take for absolute granted, while everyone sits there and says, they're corrupt. It's so annoying.
Yeah. I mean...
This is what's happening in America right now. It's just like you've got your greatest wish.
They don't take it for granted at tax time, though.
Huh?
We don't take it for granted at tax time.
No, yes. Now you replace taking it for granted with vile abuse.
It's
Should we
funny.
go? How long have we been on?
No, we still got 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Well,
No, but like, it's funny because people like to complain about paying taxes, but we use that money is going somewhere. We just don't realize it is. It's going into all of this, you know. It's going into roads. It's going into hospitals. So it's like, yes, it's important. And the way that culture shapes your political, it's strange. It's a strange thing. It's yeah. It's just it's so funny how fucking Scottish you are. There must have been some, like, your great whatever was like huddled in some circle, and like someone forgot to get the berries once, and like you were hungry one night. So since then you're like, well, we need to make a union and we all get berries, and then like that's just somehow in your blood now that you're just still to this day
Still
being
there.
like, this person does the water and this person does the, which is interesting because your career trajectory has been like libertarian entrepreneur. You've literally done it all on your own. So it's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
There's a real contradiction
unions
there.
have done nothing for me in my entire life. In terms of my entire career, there's nothing that they could have ever offered me to help me at all.
But surely-
and yet I pushed them endlessly.
But surely you commend, or you know, you exonerate, if you will, the positives of an entrepreneur. I mean, you did it. That's got nothing to do with government. But
My whole point about entrepreneurialism is great.
But
but it
Medicare is good
should
too.
be- maybe.
Yeah.
And why, this is so stupid as well. Why the hell is someone endlessly fellaciated for making a Bitcoin sale at exactly the right time? They're endlessly hailed as a genius. And then someone like Paul Keating coming up with superannuation and Medicare and keeping inflation low while wages grow for 30 years. That's not seen as entrepreneurial. That's not seen as visionary and
That is
forward
strange.
thinking.
That is strange.
Don't you think that there's a lot of things in government that are extremely innovative?
Oh, dude,
That-
for sure. Of
Like the
course.
HAF is a very innovative idea.
I mean, I don't know what it is, but yes, there's lots of ideas.
Sure.
There's lots of.
Yeah.
No, of course.
XV9 hyphen.
I mean, of course there is. I mean, even like housing. How about that? That's pretty revolutionary. Not being wet. Like, there's a million
There's
things.
a lot of things that are entrepreneurial.
Transport. I mean, everything. Society
Yes.
at large. Yes.
Generally, I think that entrepreneurs are great and they do move society forward and they should be rewarded as such. But
That
I
does.
really like the Chinese model of saying you can be entrepreneurial in this box. You cannot be entrepreneurial outside of these
Yeah.
boxes. You will be punished for that. You will be rewarded for being entrepreneurial here.
I don't like that, but I 100% agree that it's more efficient to build a society. It's
all I'm saying.
undeniable.
All I'm saying.
But I'm one of these hippies that's like, no, man, you can't box me in, man. I'm one of those people. But I wholeheartedly understand that is going to make for a inefficient society. Just a bunch of people doing what the hell they
Whatever
want.
you want. I've got an idea. I'm going to buy a phone zone business.
No, wait.
Forbes
Crazy Johns.
magazine.
Crazy Johns.
Yeah, Crazy John. I'm bringing it back.
Forbes magazine.
Even though my name isn't John.
And I'll even say this, it's kind of more honorable to be kicked around by the Chinese.
Isn't it?
Because it's like you're sacrificing. You're like, well, I don't want to do that, but I'll sacrifice my personal thing for like the greater good. But it's also a lot less of like an eagle flying freely with the American flag waving. It's less that, and you know how I feel about that. Is what it is.
Is what it is.
Yeah, but I think it's very important, and people should realize, come on now, Medicare, like buses and trains, unless they've been privatized, which I think they have. So forget those, I guess.
They haven't. There's still state-owned mostly.
Oh, really?
There's a couple of lines that are privatized.
Okay, so that, all the, environmental regular plastic, let's not make more plastic. Let's look at the big picture here. And the big picture, from my understanding, is that Labor is still the right choice. Yeah, I don't think they're great on immigration, but they're still probably the best.
By a mile, they're the best on migration. And let's not forget that migration can't be turned off like a tap.
Anything's possible when we put our minds to it. That's what's great about it.
Well, it's been swell.
Thanks for joining us on the Friendly Geordies podcast. It's been great.
Make sure that you sign up to the Up Late, where we will be sharing some extremely exciting news.
Please sign up to the Up Late, because that's actually how we can afford to do this. Because
always
YouTube is not really monetized. I mean, I've destroyed that any chance of happening this pod.
Yeah, and if you don't sign up to it, you really are a mooch. Let's be honest.
Let's not guilt them, but it just helps us a lot because...
And also on top of this, I will say, it is a product that everybody likes. Everyone likes the Up Late.
A lot of people like it.
Way better than the trash we give out for free.
It's not trash. We like it all. Just the Up Late is... it's a little bit more... How can you say it? It's a little bit more kind of extemporaneous, free-thinking... It's a little more candid, and I'd say we speak like we're friends. Not because of the money. It's just that I guess...
No, the money is good.
The nature of it is it's a little club, so we sort of speak more like frankly. So please join the Up Late if you could. Ali, if you don't realize, isn't here and he's been away. He's in Pakistan. I think he'll be back next week. If not, it'll just be us one more. Don't be rude in the comments. We love you. It is a privilege to do this. It is amazing. We do generally, it's trippy as, and it's really cool. And anyone can do it. If you guys want to do it, start your own pod, just do it. We want to encourage everyone to do their own creative endeavors. We're just some guys. Well, he's a big shot.
Having a laugh.
I'm some guy. See you later. See you next week.